Hey everybody, this is Sage Valentine, aka Etherblade, and this is my review of The Red Road, Season 1, Episode 5, The Great Snake Battle. If you've been watching my videos for The Red Road, my little reviews since day one, you know exactly what's happening, but to catch up to speed, Jean Jensen basically hit a young boy with her car, and everyone on the reservation, the Lenape reservation, they all know, including an ex-con named Philip Kopus, who holds this crime over a sheriff who is also Jean's husband, Harold Jensen. He holds this over Harold's head. Meanwhile, Philip is doing his own little thing. He is basically trying to sell stolen pharmaceuticals, which he stole not only from a medical scripts truck, but from a nursing home. He had his friend Mike involved. He has his young kind of half-brother Junior involved. Meanwhile, his mother Marie has cancer. Jean Jensen's going crazy. She gets put in an institution while everything basically that Harold does is he scrambles to cover up this crime to keep his wife out of jail and makes a deal with Philip Kopus. Meanwhile, Philip not only falls in love with a character named Sky Vanderdeen, who is a lawyer for the Lenape tribe, as well as the Morgan family whose child was hit by Jean Jensen. But Philip is in a big mess. His mother doesn't want anything to do with him. His father basically is a part of this drug business, and he basically wants his head if he doesn't get his money. So we fast forward to this episode. For those of you who know and are catching up, everybody just bear with me. Philip goes to see his father. He asks him basically why his father got him in trouble down in Florida, because this is what Mike basically revealed this. Mike Parker, who's also Philip's ex-buddy, who Philip strangled in the last episode. He basically told Philip that his father set him up. So Philip's trying to figure out why. His father said, because you were talking to the wrong people. Then he kicks him out. And when Philip asks for his gun, meaning the gun that Mike Parker used to kill, which I also forgot for those who haven't caught up, Mike Parker, who is Philip's side buddy, killed a young college boy. And everyone's looking for this young college kid's body and they can't find it. So apparently Philip gave Jack the gun, and now he wants the gun back. Jack takes out the bullets, hands him the gun back. And Philip takes the bag, rubs the gun with the bag, and like with a rag or something, I guess, to get the prints off, or his own prints off. So, for some reason, Philip goes to see these shady men, one of which, whose father that claims, who's also the father's older, he claims that Philip saved him in some way, shape, or form. So, Philip goes to Harold Jensen, and he passes him a letter. Jean is on a run that morning, and she basically comes back and she sees this. She can't believe her eyes, so she kind of acts like she didn't see anything. She goes to see Harold. Harold tries to lie, saying it's some type of neighbor who passed him something, and Jean goes running again. Harold sees the message. He opens it up. He sees 2 points. There's a place where the gun is and where the body is. The gun that Mike used to kill the college kid, and the college kid's body. The kid's body is in the water, floating. So basically the 2 detectives from 2 episodes ago, who were like after Harold, or I think they were in last episode too. But anyway, they're after Harold, trying to figure out why Harold didn't keep Mike Parker in, well, they were suspicious. Why didn't Harold keep Mike Parker in, custody, and why did he let him out? So I guess this kind of clears him with the cops, because they all lit. They find the body, everything is all hunky-dory. But Harold, for some reason, is kind of creeped out. Like, how did Phil know about this body? Where's the body? Is Phil involved? I'm basically speculating, because you could see like the different emotions going over his face. You're kind of wondering what's going on with that. So Daniel's parents, the boy who was killed, they thank Harold back at the station, and Harold's boss questions him. He says, what made you look 3 miles outside the search radius, and how'd you get the tip? And Harold brings up the idea of Jean's brother's body, because that's the whole story of the past, that Jean's brother died and drowned, and it was Philip Kopus's fault. But that was where Jean's brother found the body, because Harold found the gun, and then he led the cops to find the body. So Harold calls his father-in-law and reveals that he fixed the bumper on the truck. And Jean's father basically wants to cover everything up. He offers the family a settlement to take the money. And Marie's brother, who's also the chief of the tribe, he basically doesn't like the idea, but Sky Vanderdeen says, you know what, they can take the money and they can't get them in, I guess, civil court. They can get it in Supreme Court. So the little boy, I think his name was Joseph Morgan, I believe, his father wants to continue fighting this for the son, because the money could take care of the son and send the son to college, but the mother just wants to take the money and just end this. So basically all of this covers up the crime. Junior said that Mike called him, and Philip is kind of trying to cover it up because he doesn't tell anybody that he killed Mike. So he said that well, Mike needs to, you know, stay hidden, you know, and hopefully if you call him back, tell him to stay safe, because apparently Mike is hidden because everyone knows that Mike had something to do with the college kid's death. So now they're going through Mike's house, looking through Mike's things. All right. And on a side note, Marie, Philip's mother, because Philip goes to go see his mom, Marie, and Marie basically says, well, they're going through Mike's house, don't you live there? And Philip tells him, no, I don't live there anymore. Why would I still live there? So Harold Jensen goes over, you know, to see Mike's girlfriend, who is pregnant, and she doesn't know where he is, but he's been gone a week. And when he called her, he told her he loved her and that he was drunk at some type of lobster restaurant, but he didn't say who he's with. So she gives him a clue about how Mike used to go and hang out in the woods and hang out near this abandoned mine that's not on the map. But we all know that that's where Philip and Mike used to keep those drugs, or they keep the drugs that they stole with the help of Junior. So Harold investigates, and he discovers the drugs behind a rock, behind some rocks in the cave, as well as like some sleeping bags, and it looks like some sheets or something. So apparently he either disappears or he hides, and Philip and Junior approach. And Junior wants to know the area, and he wants to know, you know, if he has a choice to stay or leave, because for those who haven't really been abreast of this, Mike Parker told Junior that he has to choose to be a part of this whole crime thing Philip has going, and basically that Philip killed a child, basically to intimidate him, to get him involved in this. So I guess Junior thinks that if he's not a part of this, then he'll get killed. So Philip finds the rocks, and like finds the drugs that are hidden behind some rocks, and I'm thinking, you know what, maybe he noticed that someone went through the stash, but he didn't. So the detectives from New York are led to believe that they found Jack Kopus, who is Philip Kopus's father, his fingerprints on the gun that Harold Jensen found that Phil had, and he led Harold to with the map. So they go to his house, they go in, they hear a door closing or whatever, they find this locked door, and Jack comes out with a shotgun. He shoots both detectives and makes sure they're both dead with another shot. So on a side note, for those of you who've been watching, Phil was not living at Mike's house anymore. He's living somewhere else, but we don't know where he's living. So they find a locked door, and Jack, like I said, opens it, he kills them, and then he disappears. So Harold goes into the evidence locker. He's been looking for that tape. The tape has something to do with Jean's brother being killed. But I would really like to know, and hopefully they are able to wrap this up at the end of the season. And if this show gets another season, maybe they address this. What is Harold's part in Jean's brother's death? And why does he want those tapes so badly? Because he couldn't remember them until the chief mentioned it. So why does he want those tapes so badly? This is making me, question all this. And I'm starting to figure out that Harold probably is the one that killed Jean's brother, but Philip was there. But Philip took the charge, or Philip just took it and didn't say anything, because I guess because Philip is a Lenape Indian and Harold is not. So Jean's father wants her to sign the papers of the settlement so everything can disappear, and Jean questions it. She's like, well, why do I have to sign this? If Harold told me not to sign this, why should I have to sign this? So Jean's father reveals that Harold fixed that car that she used, fixed the bumper. Like, he went to a junkyard and he took one bumper from one truck and put it on the truck. And he said, something happened, and something happens. But she's still in denial, like, I don't know. And he wouldn't lie to me. So Phil meets up with Harold, who's at some type of sports bar or something. And they both blame each other for the cops being killed. Like, you got him killed. No, you got him killed. So Phil brings up what he knows about Jean, which he's been doing for the past couple episodes, to keep Harold in line. However, Harold tells him, listen, the Morgans took a settlement so they can't prosecute, and you're in trouble. He was like, what were you doing with those drugs in the mine? He was like, let me backtrack. Somebody called in an anonymous tip, and they're going for those drugs, and you never had a chance. And Philip sees that Philip leaves, I guess, in a huff. He's all upset. But I'm sure that before the end of the season, Philip has some type of plan. But he sees that Jack is on the loose when he's looking at the television, and it's like sees this African-American newscaster who says that Jack Kopus was involved in the shooting of the detectives, and he's on the loose. He's suspected of killing the detectives, like I just said. So Harold runs home. And when he comes home, Jean, his wife, slaps him. She said, I don't believe you lied to me. I know about the settlement. She was like, I didn't realize what happened, but you knew. And you're a liar, and I know it, and you made me believe I was crazy. He chases, she's like running up the steps. He chases behind her. He was like, you know what? I did it to keep you out of jail. How about you tell the girls the truth? So he wakes up the girls. It's got to be like 1 o'clock in the morning. He wakes up the girl. Girls, come in here. You tell them the truth. Then he pulls away. Okay. Hopefully, like I said before in this video, 3 things I want to know before the end of this season and the end of this series, if this is the end. I want to know, what was Harold's role in the death of Brian, Jean's brother? What else does Philip have planned? And is Jack after Philip because Philip gave him that gun that Mike Parker used that he was keeping, which was involved in the killing of that boy Daniel, who was the college kid who used to sell drugs with Mike and Philip? More importantly, is Jean going to go and just reveal what she did and give herself up in this whole thing? Like, how is this going to end? Because we have 1 episode left. I don't know. But this episode was really good. And I figured I couldn't go to sleep without giving you guys a review for those who've been watching. And thank you for tuning in. For those who haven't been watching but you're tuning in, thank you as well for tuning in. And definitely check the channel for my social media. But if you want to check me out on Twitter, I'm at Sage Valentine, and I'm on Tumblr as 1000 Heartbeats. So, and I'm also on Get Glue as well. Get Glue. I'm also on Google+. I definitely check my channel for all the details and the links to, my blogs and everything. So thank you for tuning in. Definitely check the finale. And if you haven't been watching The Red Road, definitely catch up, because I'm sure they're going to have some type of marathon before this ends. But thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, as always. Thank you to all my subscribers. And if you like this video, definitely subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And just tell me what you think. How do you think this season is going to end? I don't know. But For those who are also interested in my other videos, I do reviews on Survivor, The Walking Dead, The Following, and Believe. And I'm about to start probably either a review on Crisis or on Hemlock Grove. I haven't really considered it. And there's a new one coming up called Pine Brook or something, or Pine Bluff, which I'm going to do a review of that when that starts in May. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Have an awesome Monday, and take care, and stay tuned for my reviews of Believe, The Walking Dead, and The Following, and Sleepy Hollow, and my other review for Hannibal, because I forgot Hannibal as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye. Bye. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.